Okay, welcome to the second episode of Voice Matter with GBC. This is your host, Eric and Bhavik. And today we are very happy to have our guest, Bhargav Iyer. Welcome.
Hello guys, hi Eric, hi Bhavik.
Hello, Bhargav. How are you?
I'm good. I'm really good. Thank you for making me part of this podcast. I'm truly honored to be on this podcast, and
Yeah,
obviously work with GBC again. But when Karthik, your current GBC Finance, shared this proposition with me, I truly love the idea, and it's a good way to stay connected in this weird times. So thank you for having me.
getting back to the old place is really good. But yeah, let me give a brief introduction about you to my audience. Talking about our guest for today, Bhargav was the ex-vice president of finance of Goodman Graduate Business Council. He has also completed his MBA from Goodman School of Business and specializing in finance. And he currently is working in Ontario Treasury Board Secretariat as junior investigations analyst. So welcome to the show, Bhargav.
Thanks, Bhavik.
So how is your life going after Brock?
At the outset, let me just truly apologize for my hair. It's really unkept, I know, but the times we are living in, there's my hairdresser is not there. So, yeah, life after Brock. It's although life is really good, but it's not what as I pictured it while I was at Brock. It has changed a lot, but obviously it has changed a lot for all of us, not only me, even for you guys out there. Um, but I think I'm doing well. I'm doing well to adapt to the situations there are which are around us that we live in, and I think it's important to it's important to keep ourselves busy in this time. Rarely we get as much time as we are getting now for ourselves. So for me, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm enjoying my life. I am working. I am studying. I'm doing my part. I have a fixed timetables as well, but obviously I cheat on it a lot. So currently, my weekdays are devoted to my work, and my weekends I try to do my studies. I try to do my workout, my fitness, as well as keep in touch with my friends. So life is good. Yeah.
Yes, sounds good. So, addressing the elephant in the room. So, this year things change a lot because of pandemic. But the good news here is we are going to reopen. So, Bhargav, how do you think the job market is going to look like since, we gradually start to reopen?
Oh, that's a really good question. So, obviously, I'll speak with respect to full time roles because I am looking for a full time role starting from September. So, yes, you're correct to say that the economy is starting to reopen, but it's really important to understand that it's a chain. So
Yes.
most people right now who have a decent stable job aren't looking to leave their positions in this climate, and plus companies, in order to open new positions in their company, they need to expand. And apart from companies that are delivering essential services, it's really difficult for companies to expand in this economy. So with expansion and employee turnover both on the down low, the market is really dry for new
Yes.
jobs. But so unless this chain is broken, it will be difficult to get a job. But nevertheless, it's not impossible. I personally know Goodman graduates who have secured full time positions as of today, and so I think it's just a matter of time until the market open up, and for sure there will be a lot of jobs. And the situation that we live in have opened up new opportunities and new avenues and new job
Yes.
profiles as well. So I feel that it's certainly going to get better in time.
Yes,
I
I guess we
agree.
just will prepare and before jumping into the job market. Yeah.
Yeah, as you said, Bhargav, the dynamics of the workforce are quite changing, but still there are various opportunity arising from different corners. And I totally agree that by the time we come, the situation will be normal, but again, it can be judged that there will be some new positions opening up. As you can see in the news that Facebook is like, doing 30% more profitable as compared to earlier, and it's trying to move like 20% of its workforce or something to work from home basis only, because they've seen the productivity has increased. So yes, opportunity arises with this kind of scenarios. But I want to ask one question regarding your job. Like, how did you get the co-op? Like, what was the process like? Because most of our viewers are either newcomers to MBA or are going to graduate. So this is like very important question for us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it is. I have been in your position, and there are a lot of unanswered questions when you are at that position. Speaking of my co-op, I think I got a bit lucky in securing this co-op. Of course, your efforts, your contacts, your networks, they count a lot, but I do feel a small part of it is luck as well. So so I'm not shy to share my mistakes. I think you can learn a lot from people's mistakes. So when I started to apply for co-ops, I applied for limited positions, and I still feel that somehow I didn't utilize the resources that were offered to me and the co-op offices resources which are there. So that is something that I would advise you guys to like pursue and use the resources that you have. Um, so so it turned out that I got my first interview quite late during the hiring period. So it was a bit of challenge for me. But what I did right was that I prepared for that first interview really well. I prepared it like my life depended on it. I used all the resources that were there that were provided by the career office. I even used the mock interview, which I feel is the best way to prepare for an interview. Um, and as it happens, I secured the co-op in my first interview as well. So I did get lucky, and I did agree with joining the team. So the process as such is pretty much straightforward. So for people who are in their final semester, I'm talking about MBA, ISP in general, because MBA domestic, they already have their co-ops in between their after the second terms. So in September, the co-op job postings will be open for you guys. So you have to apply to those postings. You'll have to prepare the application package. So each posting is different. Each posting may have different requirements. You may require cover letter, resume, maybe some references, or even your transcripts. So you'll have to prepare for each posting separately. So you can also reach out to your co-op managers. They have a lot of power. They can refer you to specific jobs as well, so that you like. um, so after that, once you do apply, you will hear from the employers or from your co-op office if you have secured an interview, or sometimes there might be a preliminary assessment. It might be like some kind of logical reasoning, games, and verbal reasoning, etc. That's not much, but usually it directly is an interview. And obviously, if you crack the interview, your co-op office will let you know that you've secured the position, and it's on to you if you want to get that job. So yeah, that is the process of a co-op. And I think, as I mentioned, you need to apply early as possible, and be proactive rather than reactive.
Yeah,
Yes.
like that completely makes sense that you have to be proactive about, any opportunities that you find, and you need to act according to it. Because earlier when I was doing my undergrad, I got a lot of opportunities, but I used to, kind of lazy around. So you miss it. Like the first window is there, and you need to get within it, otherwise you will miss the opportunity. And as you said that I can sense it that you maintain your schedule on this particular time. That's how you prepare yourself for work. Like within this quarantine time, many of us are lazing around, we are not doing anything, but you said that you maintain your schedule. That's a great way to keep yourself intact with your work ethics. And this might also help. This is basically the purpose of school, I believe, that it will help us develop work ethics, and that's how we will be able to react to it within the given time windows and everything. But again, for all the students who will be searching for their co-op job, what would you advise them, like particularly if you have to advise anything?
Well, so I don't know if it works out for everyone else. So the way I saw co-op was that it was an opportunity for me to try something new. So if I'll give you a background about myself, I have a background in accounting and I did my MBA with a specialization in finance. So I also have some work experience in accounting and finance. So now this co-op, for me, it was an opportunity for me to try something new, because this is a really good chance for you to open up new avenues for yourself in the future. So for example, I am doing forensic investigation now as my co-op. So it has to do a bit of finance, it has to do a bit of accounting, and it has to do a bit of investigation and learning about the government and everything. So this co-op will open up new doors for me in the future, which would, if I would have got a co-op in finance or accounting, it would be limited for me. So that's why I feel that it's a really good opportunity for you guys to try something new for yourselves. Go out there and see for yourself that how any industry is, any work department or any line of work is, because if any work, no job is a bad job, and you will learn a lot, and obviously it will, as I said, it will open up new opportunities, new avenues for you in the future. So that is how I saw it. It doesn't have to be something that you have to think as well. Obviously, if you're interested in just one area, you can obviously go in that. So my advice for all of you. So point number one would be try and apply to the openings as early as possible before the deadline. Don't wait for the deadline to apply for the positions. In your application package, in your cover letters, these things are really important. Your cover letters, your resume, and I would advise you guys to add something different to your cover letter so that it looks apart from others. So another point would be use your co-op office. So if you go outside, for like looking for a recruitment agency or something, you'll have to pay a lot of money for that. You actually have that, and you have paid the money for that as well. So use the co-op office. They have a lot of powers, they have a lot of resources. Leverage those resources, their contacts, and their services. As I said, the mock interview that I had with the co-op office was very helpful for me. And if you do have an interview lined up, don't miss the opportunity of giving a mock interview. It's the best way to prepare. Also, before applying for any openings, do a bit of research on the company, and see if you can find any employees or even co-ops on LinkedIn, in that company, so that you can talk to them, you can network, you can ask them that what kind of how the role is, what kind of the job profile is. So it's really good to connect with them. It increases your visibility as well and gives you a higher percentage of converting that interview into a full-time co-op. So uh, that would be one of the points. Another point would be don't forget your studies. You still have to
Yes.
finish your term in order to be eligible for your co-op. So concentrate on your studies as well. And obviously, when you do get an interview, make it count. Do your research. Go in prepared with your questions, and make it count, because every interview is important, and in every you never know where you might end up. And at last, I would say that don't get disheartened if you don't hear back, or if you don't get as much as opportunities. Always send a thank you note, regardless you hear back from your interviews or not. Always send a thank you note to your interviews. You never know. It might not help you today, but it will help you tomorrow. So yeah, I think these are some of the points that I would advise to the current batch.
Yes, exactly. And so, how do you think the grade will, make a difference when you search a job? Does grade is very important for people searching job?
I'm sorry, greed.
Yes, your marks, your grade.
Oh, grades. Oh, okay. So I feel that grades are really not important. Personally, telling you, I have good grades, but as I told you, I got my first interview really late. So it doesn't matter if you have good grades, bad grades, or not. It What really matters is how you network and how you connect with employers and how you leverage the resources that you have. So I really don't feel grades uh, matter in the securing a co-op position. They hardly look at your grades. They never judge you based on your grades. They always judge you based on your interview, how you answer a question, how you um, you know uh, are doing your part of how you have studied, how you have made yourself useful in on campus while doing being actively involved in a student club or something. So I really don't feel grades are as important as they are.
Yes, exactly. Thank you for your sharing. And here is the thing a lot of Brock students very curious about. So, how has Brock add value to your personal and your professional life?
Well, Brock. Well, I certainly do miss Brock a lot. I mean, you guys you'll miss it as well when you're out of Brock. It has added a lot of value to me personally and professionally. Personally, uh, I am an international student, and I came in a new country all alone. So it's not easy being alone in a new country all by yourself. So uh, going to Brock and living my life alone, has definitely added a lot of independence to me. And it's also shown me how difficult life is. uh, but obviously, I have some awesome memories from my Brock and my Goodman days, which I will obviously cherish forever. I have met some of the most amazing people in life. I've met some of the most amazing people there, and I'm really happy to have met them. And obviously, I'll never forget them. I've made some friends for life for sure, as I guess you guys must have as well. Um, I have learned from the best this place has to offer. I think I got a bit of lucky. I did get a lot of good professors to learn from, and as well as a lot of good colleagues as well. You can learn a lot of bit from your classmates as well. And definitely, I think that this journey which I've had at Brock has made me come out more stronger than before, and I have learned a lot about myself. Professionally, as I said, I learned from the best professors. Um, I have really polished my soft skills as well as hard skills during this journey. Brock is a really good place to not Brock. The course is actually a good place to learn, polish yourself professionally, and be ready for your career out there. I have definitely improved on my communication skills, both written and verbal, and also representing schools for competitions has made me really humble, and it was like a true litmus test of where I stood as compared to the competition out there. So professionally, it did make me better. It did. I did learn a lot of skills, and did make a lot of networks out there as well. And obviously, working with the student club like GBC, improved my leadership skills, my creativity as well. So overall, I would say that professionally, I have learned a lot, and I just hope that I use those skills which I've learned in my career ahead.
Yeah. Bhargav, so I wanted to ask you one off-track question. That's you are also part of MBA games, right?
Yep.
So how was your experience there?
Well, it was good. Obviously, if just to let you know, I was the part of 2 years MBA games. I went there as a junior as well as a senior. So obviously, it should tell that as I did go the second time, I obviously had a lot of fun the first time as well. So NBA games is just one of the greatest memories that I will have of this time I've been at Brock. You certainly are exposed to a lot of competition, a lot of new ideas, creativity, and you also get to have a lot of fun with your classmates. You get to bond with each other. You get to know each other better. So NBA games was really it was really nice, and I feel that uh, it should. I mean, if it were to me, I would make it compulsory for everyone to attend the NBA games. But obviously, it's not like that because you learn a lot in NBA games, be it in a case team or be it in a sport team or be it in a uh, any team that you want in NBA games. You learn a lot. Uh, you get to know a lot about different schools. You get to know a lot about different people, different people out there. And in all, I feel that it's a really great experience. I've been truly honored to be a part of the team twice. And trust me, if I have the chance, if I get the chance, I'll be a part of it again. So I think that it was a really good experience, and I will obviously never forget it. Yeah.
Yes, Bhargav. I totally agree. It gives you the platform to connect as well as learn at the same time. It's very fun going. And I was also going to be part of it, but I had to take it out because of some personal problems. But still, I believe that, when I saw most of the students were reluctant to be part of it, they quite don't understand. That's why I asked this question to you. That since you had the job, you were a part of a Goodman Council, you participated in MBA games. So this gives a varied idea to our viewers that becoming part of different activities opens up different horizons. And when you go to interview with this kind of things, these things certainly teaches you something, right? And it can add up to your value and it can help you in your interview.
Yeah,
That
that's
ask
yeah,
that question.
that's yeah, really right what you said. It did help me in my interview as well. I did tell them that I'm a part of the NBA Games team, and they were, impressed. Obviously, it's not about, winning something. It's about being a part of something, and being a part of a team, being a part of practice sessions, getting up early, going to the practice sessions, and other things. So yeah, it does help you a lot in your career ahead.
So, as
Yes.
an alumni of Goodman, what would you advise the new incoming graduate students?
So uh I think that I would start with the hard truth. Well, life is not easy as a Goodman graduate student. Your time at Brock won't be easy. You'll have to struggle a lot. You'll have to put your best foot forward and put all your efforts in. I would say that don't be disheartened if some things don't go your way, or if they're not up to your expectations. Just focus on your goal, on your objectives, and obviously be happy with the small victories that you have. You will not get huge victories in this course, in this period. You will have to be happy with the small victories that you have. So, but looking at the hindsight, you will come out of this stronger, both professionally and personally. um, and I would say that take advantage of all the resources that are at your disposal. Obviously, the times have changed, and the experience at Brock would not be as similar as it was for me. But I think that still you need to take advantage of all the resources that you have, and obviously, as you mentioned before, time management is the key to everything. um, you know and you will learn time management. You will have to learn time management, pursuing any course at Goodman. But I also like to say that do take out time for yourself. Or more now, more than ever, you need to take out time for yourself, and don't take your health, your mental or your physical health, for granted. You need to give time to yourself, take part in activities, do get involved in student clubs like GBC. It's a really good experience. Also, help out with volunteering if you can. I know that I don't know how you can do it in this situation, but there will always be some opportunities for you to volunteer. So you get to meet a lot of new people while volunteering, and you can make your contacts through volunteering as well. And yeah, don't miss out on opportunities. And all it takes is one shot, as I told you before. Uh, and you miss obviously you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take, as said by Wayne Gretzky. So yeah, that would be my advice.
Yes, exactly. And you mentioned the GBC. So I know you were also part of GBC before as a VP of finance. So could you share your most memorable incident of working with GBC and why that is so special for you?
Oh, it's really difficult for me to narrow it down to one memory. I think there were a lot of moments with GBC, and I'm sure if you ask anyone from our GBC committee, they will tell you that it will be very difficult to narrow down to one moment. So I still remember the gala, which was where the new committee was introduced, and there were a lot of we used to have meetings almost every week, and sometimes we used to just have meetings outside in the Jubilee Court, and it was really nice that that place somehow got the best out of every one of us. So I really remember meeting with the team, and discussing for hours and hours about ideas and events. But I guess the most memorable moment would be the summer barbecue which the GBC committee organized. It was our first event as a GBC committee last year, It was around July. It was around Canada Day time. So the Canada Day was the theme of the barbecue event as well. So it was just the perfect day. The weather was really perfect. The place again, Jubilee Court, was perfect. We did all the decorations. We set up games for everyone. We set up a photo booth, although it did the photo booth gave us some problems, but it was there nevertheless. There was live music. There was good food, fresh food, free food, and it was just a massive success. And I really remember that event because it really brought us together as a team. Um, and we had a lot of students that showed up. We had students show up. There were professors, there was staff, even the dean showed up for the barbecue. So it was beautiful, and we really excelled as a team in that event. And I truly, truly, truly hope that you guys get the opportunity as well to,
Yes.
organize something like that. I'm sure it will be a hit as well. So yeah, that's the most memorable memory.
Yes, and I will ask Johnson, do we have like summer barbecue this year? Okay, thank you so much, Bhargav. Thank you for joining us. And I have to say, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. And since today we also have other audience online with us, now it's your turn. Feel free to ask questions to our guest.
Hello, Bargov. It's Johnson here.
Hi,
And yes,
Jansi.
I will try to do that barbecue for us for this year. I have noted down in the notes, yes.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, I have a really quick question for you. Well, you were mentioning that you were trying to find the co-op job. You use a lot of resources from the career zone and the co-op office. Would you mind sort of more specifically mention what kind of resources can we actually get from the offices? That's the first question. And second, that you mentioned that you actually interview quite late. By late, what do you mean? Like which month is it? Or like, because at least we can sort of understand, when that we should have at least a few interview going on at which month. Yeah.
Okay, so to answer your first question, obviously when you do log into your career office co-op website, you do have a lot of. There is a resources section. So with in terms of resources, I wanted to tell you about how to make your cover letter, how to make your resume. There are functional cover letters and resume. Let's say if you want to go for marketing jobs, what kind of a cover letter there has to be. So use those resources, as well as with resources I meant was like mock interviews, as I said, is really important. Just get in touch with your EDMs, your managers. Those managers will set up mock interviews for you. They will go through your resume. They will go through your cover letters and tell you which what aspect of it is wrong or right, or what you need to change.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously do uh, be in touch or be visible to your manager, because as I told, they have a lot of power. And if you think there is some opening that is perfect for you, go book a meeting with your EDM. Go to him or her, tell them that this opening is perfect for me, and I want to do anything and everything to at least get an interview for this opening. They will help you. They will go through your cover letter, resume, and make it suitable for the opening. And obviously, some of the managers have a personal connection with the employers as well. So if they feel that yes, you are right for the position, they will refer you to the employer directly. So in terms of resources, I meant this, that use the co-op office, use their capabilities to the maximum, and be visible to them. And I think that if you do that, you will really get a lot of results. You will get a lot of opportunities. To answer your second question, so I think I'm not sure, but I think I got my interview in October. So definitely you should have some interviews. I think it was November first week or something. So I think you should definitely have some interviews in October. But as in when time passes, you should get more opportunity, more interviews. So I believe when I gave my first interview, there were people who had already given 3 to 4 interviews as well. So it really depends on how you contact, how you use your references, how you use your networks, and obviously don't just go for the openings that are there on the co-op job portal. You can make your own openings. You can, if you have any contact in any firms or enterprise you want to work in, use those contacts and tell them that I want to work as a co-op. Your co-op office will, uh, if you have an opportunity, they will convert that opening into a co-op for you. So it's just not limited to positions that are there on the website. So be open. The world is your oyster, and use those opportunities. And was there a third question? I'm sorry, I forgot.
No, no, that's everything actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So,
Okay,
well,
thank
it's
you.
time
Yeah.
to clock out. And this is your host, Bhavik Vadhel and Eric Cong signing to see you off again next week. But before we go, we want to thank you, Bhargav, for your precious time that you gave us some insights which were really helpful. And we hope to see you again sometime soon on the campus.
Oh, for sure. I will be there.
Okay, so see you everyone on next week on Voice Matter with GBC. Don't forget to follow us on all the social media as I told you earlier. Take care, guys.
See you.
Thank you.
Take care.